This is Star Wars C-3PO and R2-D2 from the Saga Legends, the Vintage Collection, and the Clone Wars. I didn't feel that there was a need to do separate videos, separate reviews for each and every of these figures, although I've done a separate video for this guy. If you want to see it, go check it out on my FX Friends channel. And because this was the first guy I got, and then I decided to get the vintage collection, and then I figured, I had to review him with C-3PO. It took me a while to get him. I had to wait for him to go on a discount. Then these two went on clearance, so I picked them up, and I figured, hey, and this one I got at a discount, so I decided just to get everything first and then do a collector review of everybody, and I thought that would make more sense. So anyway, here they are. Interesting enough, the two most iconic characters of the Star Wars next to Darth Vader and the lightsaber and the Jedi. What am I saying? Very iconic droids and characters from the movie, and cartoon. C-3PO and R2-D2 have always been there in every facet of Star Wars, which is quite interesting enough. They're the least of my favorite characters, but having all these figures from different versions, I've actually grown to like these figures. But anyway, let's start with the Clone Wars. C-3PO. This was actually something I got on clearance. It uses the old ancient 2004 packaging that didn't come with any card or base or die. It's from 2008. My bad. 2008. Wave 2 of 2008, and pretty interesting. I got him at a good clearance price. It didn't really bother getting him when he got repacked in the Shadow of the Dark Side packaging with a carton base, so this was the only one on sale. I didn't really want to pay too much for C-3PO. This R2-D2, on the other hand, is from the is a repacked Clone Wars 3 R2-D2. Sorry, my bad. It's a repacked R2-D2. What am I saying? And he's been repacked in, if you're interested, in I think Wave 3 of 2010. So I don't know exactly which wave is that, but it's Wave 3 of 2010. I think. Yes. Or 2011. I can't remember. 2010. There you go. Wave 3 of 2010. It's the wave with Ki-Adi-Mundi and the flamethrower clone trooper. So interesting. This one, when it was repacked, is the exact same figure as what we got from Wave 2. Or Wave 1, sorry, the very first wave of the Clone Wars figures. But he did come with, this time around, a base, a battle game card, and a die. Not that the base would be much use to him. He's a droid that doesn't even have peg holes. But anyway, it's a battle game card figure. Alright. The C-3PO figure is pretty decent. It's painted gold. It's not chrome. Some great articulation. It's got a ball-jointed neck, or head, because the peg is stuck on the head. So pretty cool. Ball-jointed neck. He's got a ball hinge shoulder, ball hinge elbow, swivel wrist, ball jointed upper torso, hinge hip, ball hinge knee, and a ball hinge ankle. Very, very cool. Can take a little bit of manipulating to make him stand up, but he's not that well balanced as a figure, but you can make him stand up. Very, very interesting. I have no idea why I haven't picked this guy up sooner, but he's a good representation of the Clone Wars C-3PO. And the gimmick that he has is he's got a little bit of light piping, much like the Transformers. See? Pretty cool. I was actually quite impressed with that. So not a bad figure. If you're a big fan of the show, this is not a bad pickup. He's just a little bit annoying on the show as always, but not entirely bad as a figure. Paint apps are pretty good. Hardly anything wrong with it. Even the circuitry on his abs, very cool. Just a well done figure, I have to say. And so much articulation. Now that Hasbro, oops, he just doesn't stand up well. Maybe I should stand him up on R2-D2's card. Yeah, maybe. He'll fit. And the peg hole is on his toes. So just for the time being, we'll keep him on the stand with the die. Okay, so very interesting. Great paint apps, great articulation. Given the fact that Hasbro has been reducing articulation on their Clone Wars figures, very welcome addition to any collection. This R2-D2 is probably the one with the most accessories so far. He's pretty cool, actually. Detail-wise, paint apps are great, but it's very cartoony, if you know what I'm saying. But overall, this is probably one of the better R2-D2 figures. And I think for the entire Clone Wars, Astromech's repaints, or series of Astromechs, this is the best Astromech mold for the Clone Wars toy line. And it's got the most, and particularly because it's got the most accessories. He's got a removable third leg. He's got these stowaway little robotic arms that you can stow away neatly in these panels. Come on now. Okay. He's got these removable thrusters, which is pretty cool if you've seen the episode with Goldie. And just about every episode he's in, he uses these thrusters a lot. So it's pretty cool. Very show accurate. You can have them on or off, depending on how you want to display your R2-D2, and you can have this one on or on if you want to. His articulation. Oh, I forgot one more gimmick. There is a grappling hook right there. Let me just see if I can remove it. There we go. Pretty cool, pretty neat. And it retracts by rotating the headpiece. It's like that. So very cool. Yeah, and the head will still rotate this even if you retracted the grappling hook. This one doesn't want to shut. Okay, there we go. He's got a hinge leg. He's got hinges for his legs. I guess this would be his hips or shoulders. And his feet have some hinge joints as well, so you can position him standing up, or if you want to remove the third wheel, you can have him standing up. That's pretty cool. Very nice. If you have to get just one Astromech in the entire Clone Wars series of toy line, the Clone Wars toy line, this has got to be it. All right, on to the vintage collection. Quick look at the packaging. This is for C-3PO. He is part of the Empire Strikes Back wave. Very cool. Here was the first version of C-3PO back in 1980 to 82. I thought the paint apps of this one was absolutely brilliant. I didn't have this one. Oh no, I think I did. I actually did. But I think the one I had was the removable one that had the backpack that, you know, Chewbacca could, you could put it on the Chewbacca figure. That's the one I had. But this had phenomenal paint apps. Crappy articulation, but really great gold chrome paint apps. So that's that. And the figure is part of the first wave of the vintage collection toys. And here is the packaging for R2-D2. This is the Return of the Jedi. Yes, I do have the variant packaging, the Revenge of the Jedi. It's hung up on my wall. But there is a variant for this one. It's the same figure, but different card back, the Revenge of the Jedi card back, which was a Comic Convention exclusive, San Diego Comic Con. And here is the back of the packaging. As you can see, he's part of the third wave of vintage collection, and that's the first issue back in that can't be right, 2010. Oh, so I guess this is the first time they've actually first issue vintage. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's the first time they've issued a R2-D2 with the drink tray. And if you remember in Return of the Jedi, Episode 6, R2-D2 was on Jabba's barge and he was serving drinks. Kind of corny gimmick, but it is what it is. And yeah. So okay, let's talk about R2U since we've already started. The drink tray is, thank God, removable. It's just a basic piece of plastic. The glass. Oops. I didn't know the glasses were removable. They apparently are. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Interesting. And well, it doesn't add to anything to the way it doesn't change my opinion about the figure. I think the figure is okay. It's not the best figure in the vintage toy line, but it's pretty decent. So there, removable glasses and the tray. He's got a removable drink serving arm. This is like the tap that serves the drinks. I think in the movie you can remove it. He also comes with Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, the unlit lightsaber. And let me just keep this in the background so the lighting doesn't. There we go. Interesting, and it fits in his head. He's also got another accessory, which is you activate it by pushing onto the middle leg, and it raises his periscope, which you can rotate. It's actually a removable piece. A little bit disappointing on this gimmick. I wish they could have done separate ports for the periscope and the lightsaber, because in this particular figure they share the same port, so you can't have both the lightsaber and the periscope on him. And then it goes down again, and when it's opened, and I'm not entirely sure if this is movie accurate. I think the lightsaber comes out in the middle. I could be wrong, but I know this is the periscope, and the lightsaber could have come up in any of the panels, but I think if I remember correctly, it came out in the middle. I'm not sure. So anyway, you can recreate that scene where Luke says, "Free us, Jabba, or die." And then he gives a signal to R2, and R2 raises his lightsaber. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway. I love that scene. I love that Jabba the Hutt scene. Sarlacc pit scene. Anyway, it's not the best gimmick in the world, as you can see. There's really no way to store it if you have the periscope on. So, not the best R2-D2 in my opinion. I mean, it is what it is. It's a great display piece, but playability, not the best. So we're gonna put the lightsaber there. And if he has a drink tray, you can't articulate him, but if you remove it, you can. All the legs are very much have regular R2-D2 articulation, just like the Clone Wars version. So there, you can have him stand up in his regular position, or have the drink tray on and have him stand up erect. I say erect, okay. There you go. On to C-3PO. I didn't really care much for this figure. This figure is part of the... Excuse me. He's gotten drunk. It's part of the first wave of vintage collection figures, the Empire Strikes Back wave. Didn't really look as good in packaging, but when I took it out of packaging, it's actually not too bad. He's not as movie accurate as you'd expect him to be, primarily because, well, his paint apps is a little bit of a not matte, it's a little bit of a shiny sort of metallic finish, gold metallic finish instead of a gold chrome, which should have been like this. Even in the first version of C-3PO back in the 80s, he was done in gold chrome. They didn't do it on this one. Cheapo Hasbro But nevertheless, you know, they've added some gimmicks to him. Oh, also he's missing that there is a servo or a connecting piece right there. It's like a piston that connects his forearm to his bicep, like that. And I think he's missing it here, so he's not as completely accurate as the designers would have him be. But very well painted. I mean, there's hardly any paint quality issues on this guy. If ever there are, you see some on the shelves, some will have like some scratches, just very tiny scratches here and there, but overall very nice. It's really the only major paint flaw that this guy has are really the eyes. Sometimes if you can just see it, the pupils on his eyes are sometimes not painted on center, and I'll show you a little bit more. He has a removable face, which interestingly enough will show you his face as he was being designed by Anakin in episode 1. So very cool. And as you can sort of see these beady eyes, he's got some black pupils right there in the middle. So they're not painted as well in some of the figures, but overall the design is very well executed. Just wish they could have done it in gold chrome, but again, that would have cost a lot more money, I suppose. The the right thigh's cover is also removable to show the inner workings of C-3PO. Articulation-wise, he's got a swivel neck, ball jointed upper torso, ball hinge shoulders, ball hinge elbows, swivel wrist, swivel hips, ball hinge knees, yep, ball hinge ankles. In particular, you've got to keep him like his shoulders are a little bit back, because if you keep him upright, this thing just pops off like that. I mean, it doesn't pop off, it just goes askew right there, and you have to sort of, it's a pain to put it back on, a little bit of a pain. And what I'm saying is you can't keep him upright. He has to be leaning backwards, which he always is anyway in most of the movies. We're doomed. We're doomed. R2. Master Anakin. R2, I am a protocol droid. This is all your fault, R2. It's really just, I think, the second most annoying character in the Star Wars mythology, next to Jar Jar Binks. All right, and then we go to the Saga Legends. I don't have the packaging anymore of this one. I've shown it in the video review, the separate video review for this one. This one is really the electronic R2-D2, which has all the phrases, quote unquote, of R2. That's the only gimmick he has. He doesn't rotate. The neck doesn't rotate, but he's got hinges here, even on the third leg. Third leg is, no, it's not. You could remove it, I suppose, if you force it out, but I can't remember if I did remove it. And lastly, the Saga Legends C-3PO in the seat, in the wooden Ewok seat, this was the scene in Return of the Jedi, if you remember the movie in Episode 6, that scene in Episode 6 where they treated him like a god, and then they wanted the Ewoks to release Luke, Han, and Leia, and what he did was he says, "Let them go," or "My magic." What magic? And then Luke just levitates him. So it's very cool. I haven't taken it out of packaging, and I probably won't, because I'm trying to preserve the gold chrome on him. If I do take it out, I'm pretty sure it's going to be weathered out, and it's going to go light, and it's going to get chipped off and whatnot. So I'm trying to keep it in packaging just to preserve the paint, because I love the paint apps on this one. The articulation has just got a hinge neck, hinge shoulders, a hinge knee, and hinge hips. Not a lot of articulation, but I think this is the closest we've gotten with reference to how C-3PO should look like, and I think he's a lot more definitive than the vintage collection figure. So anyway, devoting 20 minutes, going on 20 minutes, 19 minutes for this review. It's 6 figures, 5.5. Which one should you get? It will really depend on which a franchise or sub toy line you're more of a fan of. If you're obviously a Clone Wars fan, you got to get this one. If you're a big movie fan, you can take either the Saga Legends or the Vintage Collection. For a lot of collectors, it's the Vintage Collection. But for me, in my opinion, I think the best out of all this lot is really the Saga Legends. I like the gimmick on R2-D2, and I think you get more value with this one because of all the electronics as compared to this one that just has a lousy drink tray and doesn't even have a solid periscope and lightsaber gimmick, although he's got a lot more plastic. In terms of C-3PO, this one I think is just I think the better one because of just the amount of paint apps they've gotten on him, and really just a tremendous effort on Hasbro. uh, Sorry, not tremendous effort. I mean, I would have expected a lot more effort, which is what I'm trying to say, with the vintage collection, seeing as though it is should be the definitive figure. And had they painted the vintage collection in this vein, same color or palette color scheme, I would have considered this one as the best C-3PO, but as it is, it's just in metallic gold, and this one is in gold chrome, and I think this one outclasses this one. So, with that being said, again, it's up to you which one you prefer. If you're a big fan of these guys, I suggest you get all versions of C-3PO and R2-D2. These two droids are very iconic. Absolutely love them. Right now, never really paid attention to them much. But now that I've got the toys and the figures, I've actually these figures have actually grown on me, and I really like them. I'm pretty glad I got them. So there you go, folks. If you like this video, please don't forget to click the thumbs up icon at the bottom. Add it to your favorites. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more of these videos. Please subscribe to my other channel, Cheftron, and keep your subscription at FX Friends, obviously. Please follow me on Twitter at www.twitter.com/fxfrance for my latest toy purchases and upcoming reviews. There you go, folks. The Star Wars C-3PO and R2-D2 figures from the Saga Legends, the Vintage Collection, as well as the Clone Wars. Thanks for watching.